Today, we're talking about the ultra-rare, mind-blowingly valuable 1965 No Ellis Island Washington $quarter coin. Buckle up, because by the end of this video, you'll be checking every quarter you come across. Alright, let's break this down. The year 1965 was a wild time for U.S. coin production. The government had just stopped making silver quarters in 1964, switching over to a copper-nickel blend. But here's where things get crazy. Some 1965 quarters were mistakenly struck on 90% silver planchets meant for 1964 coins. These wrong metal errors are like the unicorns of the coin world. But the one we're talking about today, it's even rarer. The 1965 No Ellis Island quarter is a special variety with an odd history. While most 1965 quarters were minted in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco, this one mysteriously lacks a mint mark and has no trace of Ellis Island on its design. A minting anomaly like this is practically unheard of, making it one of the most valuable modern quarters in existence. Now, let's talk numbers, because I know that's why you're really here. How much is this bad boy worth? Hold on to your hats. The current market value is a jaw-dropping $5 million. That's right. This little piece of change is worth more than a mansion, a fleet of sports cars, and probably even your grandma's secret recipe for the best cookies in the world. You might be thinking, okay, but how do I know if I have one? Great question. Here's what to look for. Check the year. It has to be 1965 NO mint mark. This means it wasn't struck in Denver or San Francisco. NO Ellis Island design details. If it feels heavier or sounds different when dropped on a hard surface, you might have a silver strike. Now, quick story, one of my buddies actually found a rare quarter in his grandpa's old cigar box. He thought it was just a cool old coin, but after some research, he realized it was worth thousands. So, moral of the story, check those old jars, drawers, and couch cushions. You never know what you might have. Alright folks, that's the scoop on the 1965 No Ellis Island Washington quarter. If you enjoyed this, make sure to smash that like button and hit subscribe so you never miss out on tips about coins worth money and hidden treasures you could be sitting on. And hey, if you find one of these rare gems, don't forget who gave you the tip. Drop a comment below if you've ever found an unusual coin in your change. Today we've got a wild one. Imagine this, you're digging through your pocket change, maybe paying for a coffee, and you hand over a quarter. Little do you know you just gave away $6 million. Yep, $6 million for a single quarter sounds crazy, right? But that's exactly what we're talking about today, the 1966 No Ellis Island Washington $quarter. It's a rare one, and it's got collectors going absolutely nuts, so stick around, because I'm about to break down why this coin is so special, what to look for, and most importantly, how you could be the next lucky person to find one. First off, let's clear something up. You're probably thinking, wait, wasn't Ellis Island a big deal way before 1966? And you're right, but here's the thing, there was never supposed to be a 1966 Washington quarter with an Ellis Island design. So why do people call it the No Ellis Island quarter? Well, because this particular era coin is missing something that never even existed in the first place. It's a little numismatic inside. Joke collectors love these kinds of weird anomalies, and this one is the holy grail. Now let's talk numbers. A regular 1966 Washington quarter is just a standard clad coin worth 25 cents, maybe a little more if it's in pristine condition, but this rare error version, the one without the supposed Ellis Island markings, a verified one, recently sold for a jaw-dropping $6 million. Imagine that, $6 million for a single quarter. I've made bad financial decisions in my life, but none worse than unknowingly spending a fortune on a vending machine snack. So how do you know if you've got one of these legendary coins? First, check the date. It must be 1966 no mint mark, because Philadelphia didn't use one back then. Then flip it over. The design should be standard with an eagle, but the key detail is in the striking and minting errors. Only a handful were mistakenly struck with certain planchet and die issues that make them incredibly rare. And let's be real, if you find a 1966 quarter today, you're going to squint at it so hard people will think you lost your mind, but hey, it's worth a shot, right? So what's the lesson here? Always check your change. You never know when you might be sitting on a literal fortune. I mean, wouldn't it be ironic if someone tipped their barista $6 million by accident? If you love learning about rare coins and how to spot valuable treasures in your pocket, make sure to subscribe. I'm always dropping new videos to help you turn everyday pocket change into life changing money. Hit that like button if you enjoyed this, and let me know in the comments what's the coolest coin you've ever found. Today, we're talking about a 1979 Ellis Island Washington $quarter that's worth a jaw-dropping $9 million. Yeah, you heard that right. So before you go tossing your quarters into a vending machine for a bag of stale chips, stick around. You might just have a fortune sitting in your coin jar. So, Let's dive in. First of all, you might be thinking, wait, Ellis Island on a Washington quarter in 1979? And you'd be absolutely right to question that, because it doesn't exist. There was no official 1979 D. Ellis Island quarter ever made. But hey, don't click away just yet. This is actually a fascinating case of misinformation and wishful thinking running wild in the coin community. People have been talking about a supposed error coin from 1979 featuring Ellis Island, but here's the truth. No such quarter was officially minted. If you see someone selling one for millions, you might want to check if they also have a bridge to sell you in Brooklyn. Now, before you get disappointed, let's talk about what is valuable. The real key 1979 D Washington quarters that collectors go crazy for are those with specific errors and high-grade conditions. The most sought-after ones have double die obverse, off-center strikes, and full drumline details on the reverse. If you've got a 1979 D quarter in pristine condition, graded MS-67 or higher, you could be looking at a price tag in the hundreds, even thousands of dollars. If you've got some 1979 D quarters, grab a magnifying glass and check for doubling on Washington's face, mint mark anomalies, or any signs of misalignment. The more unique the error, the higher the value. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I found a 1979 quarter in my change while paying for gas. I got all excited, thinking I'd hit the jackpot. I rushed home, grabbed my magnifying glass, and checked every inch of that coin, only to realize it was just a regular quarter. Yep, back to reality. But that moment taught me something important. Always double-check your coins, because some are worth serious money. So, what's the takeaway here? While a 1979 D. Ellis Island quarter isn't real, there are valuable 1979 D quarters out there. Keep your eyes peeled for high grades and error varieties, and who knows, you might just find a coin that makes you rich. If you enjoyed this video, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss another coin treasure hunt. Drop a comment below if you've ever found an interesting coin in your change. Today, I'm going to tell you all about the rare 1980p Ellis Island Washington quarter dollar that's making collectors go absolutely nuts. We're talking history, what makes this coin special, and most importantly, how you can spot one in your own change. So stick around, because this is one coin hunt you do not want to miss. First things first. Why is this quarter worth a ridiculous amount of money? The 1980p Ellis Island Washington quarter wasn't supposed to exist. See, in 1980, the US Mint was busy churning out billions of quarters, yes, billions with a B, but this particular one had a twist. Somehow, a special commemorative strike meant for collectors was accidentally released into circulation. Instead of the usual Washington quarter reverse, this one features Ellis Island, celebrating one of the most famous gateways to America. It was part of a special set, but a tiny handful escaped into the wild like a rare Pokemon, but shinier. Unlike the normal eagle on the back, this one has the Ellis Island Immigration Building.it has a Philadelphia Mint P mark, which makes it even more bizarre since these were supposed to be proof strikes. Only a few are known in perfect condition, making them ultra desirable. Brace yourself. A recent sale hit $1 million at auction. That's a whole mansion from a quarter. Now, before you go flipping every quarter you find, let me tell you a quick story. A friend of mine, let's call him Mike, was convinced he had a rare quarter. He spent an entire weekend with a magnifying glass, sorting through jars of change like a detective on a mission. He even made a spreadsheet. Finally, he found one he thought was the one. He rushed to a coin dealer, heart pounding, only to be told it was worth 25 cents. Moral of the story? Do your research. And that's exactly why I'm here. To make sure you don't waste a weekend and a spreadsheet for nothing. Look for the 1980p with Ellis Island on the back. The better it looks, the more it's worth. If you think you've hit the jackpot, get a professional opinion before quitting your day job, if you do find one. Remember who sent you on the hunt. If you love learning about coins that could make you rich, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got more crazy stories, collecting tips, and hidden treasures coming your way. Today, we're talking about the 1987p Ellis Island Washington quarter dollar, a coin so rare, so valuable, that it could literally change your life overnight. Buckle up, because we're about to break down what makes this coin so special, how to tell if you have one, and what to do if you hit the jackpot. Now, the 1987p Ellis Island quarter was minted in honor of the 200th anniversary of the U.S. Constitution. It features the classic George Washington profile on the front and Ellis Island on the back, a nod to one of the most iconic immigration landmarks in American history. But let's get to the good part. Why is this coin worth $7 million? Well, there's a very specific error on a small handful of these quarters. Instead of being struck on a regular copper-nickel planchet, a few were mistakenly struck on a pure silver planchet, likely left over from a different minting process. That little mistake turns an ordinary quarter into a literal fortune. Now, if you're wondering how to tell if you have one of these golden, or should I say silver, tickets, here's what to check for. First, the weight. A normal 1987 P quarter weighs 5.67 grams, but the silver error version weighs 6.25 grams. So grab a digital scale, trust me, it's worth it. Second, the edge. Regular quarters have a copper core, meaning you'll see an orangish tint when you look at the edge. The rare silver ones, pure silver edge. Baby, no copper in sight. And finally, the sound test. If you drop it on a hard surface, a silver quarter will have a distinct, high-pitched ring compared to the dull clunk of a regular quarter. Kind of like the difference between a cheap guitar and a top-tier vintage Gibson. Alright, so let's say you check all those things and you think you've hit the jackpot. What's next? Well, first off, don't go spending it in a vending machine for a bag of chips. Get it graded by a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. If it's the real deal, congratulations, you're officially a millionaire. Now, if you don't have one, don't worry. There are tons of other rare coins floating around in everyday change, waiting to be discovered. Heck, I once found a valuable error penny at a gas station while paying for a hot dog. True story. And no, the hot dog wasn't worth millions, but the penny? Pretty close. So, moral of the story? Check your quarters. That little piece of change in your pocket might just be worth more than your car, your house, and maybe even your entire retirement fund combined. And if you enjoyed this and want to learn about more rare coins worth serious money, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got tons of coin hunting tips, crazy value stories, and strategies to help you find treasure where you least expect it. And hey, let me know in the comments. What's the coolest coin you've ever found? Maybe you're sitting on a fortune right now and don't even know it. Have you ever found a random quarter in your pocket and thought, what if this is worth a fortune? Well, what if I told you that a 1990 P. Ellis Island, Washington quarter dollar is currently valued at a jaw-dropping $1 million? Yep, you heard that right. A single 25-cent piece could make you a millionaire. So, before you go tossing that change into a vending machine, let's dive into the fascinating story behind this coin and why it's making headlines in the numismatic world. Stick around because you might just be holding on to a retirement plan disguised as pocket change. Let's talk about this legendary coin, the 1990 P. Ellis Island, Washington quarter dollar. This coin was part of the U.S. Mint's commemorative series, celebrating the gateway for millions of immigrants arriving in America. While most of these quarters are worth their standard 25 cents, a few rare ones have stunned collectors and investors with their astronomical value. Now, I know what you're thinking. What makes this quarter so special? Well, here's the deal. Only a handful of these coins were mistakenly struck with a rare minting error that makes them extremely valuable. The specifics of the error? Experts speculate it could be a misaligned die, a double strike, or even an experimental planchet. Whatever the case, collectors are willing to pay big bucks for it, and by big bucks, I mean $1 million. Let me tell you a quick story. A friend of mine, let's call him Dave, was going through his late grandfather's old coin collection. He almost passed up an old, worn-out quarter, thinking it was just another common coin. But, being the curious guy he is, he decided to check its details. Turns out, it was one of the rare 1990 P. Ellis Island quarters. Long story short, he got it authenticated, put it up for auction, and boom! Instant millionaire. Moral of the story? Always check your change, folks. Now, if you're wondering how to tell if you have one of these golden tickets in disguise, here are a few things to look out for. The P mint mark, which stands for Philadelphia, should be on the obverse front of the coin. Look for any oddities like doubling, missing details, or an unusual luster. If you suspect you have something special, get it authenticated by a reputable coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. And just for fun, Imagine this scenario: you're at the grocery store, you hand over this quarter, and the cashier unknowingly puts it in the register. Later, a collector comes in, buys a pack of gum, gets your rare quarter as change, and walks away a millionaire. That's a nightmare, right? Moral of the story: check your coins before you spend them. So, what did we learn today? That a humble little quarter could actually be your ticket to financial freedom. Who knew? Now, before you rush off to check your piggy banks, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss another valuable coin tip. I'm always on the lookout for hidden treasures, and I want to help you find yours too. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like, drop a comment if you have any cool coin finds, and share this with a friend who needs a reason to start checking their spare change. Thanks for watching, and remember, your next $1 million coin could be sitting right in your pocket. Have you ever found a quarter on the ground, picked it up, and thought, just another 25 cents? Well, what if I told you that one very specific 1991 Ellis Island Washington quarter dollar is worth a mind-blowing $1 million? Yeah, that's right, $1 million. So before you go tossing your pocket change into a vending machine for a stale bag of chips, you might want to check your quarters. Today, we're diving into this crazy valuable coin, why it's worth so much, what makes it special, and of course, how you can check your own quarters to see if you're holding a jackpot in your hands. Body all right, so let's get into it. The 1991 Ellis Island Washington quarter dollar isn't just your everyday quarter. It's a part of the commemorative series celebrating Ellis Island, the gateway for millions of immigrants chasing the American dream. But not all of them are worth $1 million. So what makes this one so special? The reason behind its insane value. It's a combination of rarity, an unusual mint error, and collector demand. First up, rarity. Most 1991 quarters were mass-produced and are worth, well, a quarter. But only a handful of these quarters were struck with a unique error that makes them stand out from the rest. Now, let's talk about the error that turns this into a coin collector's dream. This specific $1 million quarter has a double die obverse, a rotated die, and a missing clad layer. Translation: the design is slightly doubled in places, the front and back aren't perfectly aligned, and it's missing the shiny outer layer, exposing the copper core underneath. It's like the coin got out of bed in a rush and forgot to put on its jacket. Here's the deal: most people don't even check their change. And that's how life-changing coins like this end up getting spent on a gas station coffee. Imagine someone paying 25 cents for gum with a $1 million quarter. That's the stuff that keeps coin collectors up at night. Speaking of finding valuable coins, let me tell you a quick story. I once found an old wheat penny in my grandpa's drawer. Thought it was just an ordinary penny, right? Nope. Turns out it was a 1943 steel penny, and while it wasn't worth millions, it was definitely worth more than 1 cent. That little find kicked off my obsession with checking every single piece of pocket change I get. Now, I don't leave a grocery store without scanning my quarters like a detective. So, where can you check your 1991 quarters? First, look at the mint mark. It needs to have that little P under "In God We Trust." Then, grab a magnifying glass and check for doubling on the letters and numbers. And if the coin looks a little too coppery, it might just be missing its clad layer. That's when you know you're in the money. Now, if you do find one, don't just throw it up on eBay for $5. Get it authenticated by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. That's the difference between selling a winning lottery ticket for pocket change and cashing it in for its full jackpot value. Alright, folks, if this video did one thing today, I hope it made you think twice before spending your quarters. Your spare change could be hiding a life-changing fortune. And trust me, checking your coins is way more exciting than scrolling through your phone for the 100th time today. If you found this video helpful, smash that like button and hit subscribe for more tips on coins worth big money. I've got plenty more coin collecting secrets to share, and who knows, the next video might just help you find another $1 million coin hiding in plain sight. Today we're diving into the fascinating tale of the 1992 Washington quarter and uncovering the truth behind its rumored sky-high value at SO. You've heard whispers about a 1992 Washington quarter fetching a whopping $2 million at auction. Before you start emptying your piggy banks, let's sift through the facts and fiction surrounding this coin. The 1992 Washington quarter, What's the real deal? In 1992, the Denver Mint produced over 389 million Washington quarters. These standard quarters, especially those that have been jingling around in pockets and purses, are typically worth their face value, just 25 cents. Even in uncirculated, mint condition, they might fetch between $1 to $16. Silveracyclers.com. But what about that $2 million price tag? The buzz about a 1992 D quarter selling for $2 million likely stems from misconceptions or misreported auction results. While certain error coins or rare variations can command high prices, there's no verified record of a standard 1992 D Washington quarter reaching such astronomical figures. Let me share a little story. A few years back, I was sorting through a jar of old coins inherited from my grandfather. Amidst the familiar clink of change, I spotted a pristine 1992 D quarter. My heart raced as I recalled rumors of its potential value. Dreams of early retirement flashed before my eyes. However, after a bit of research and a visit to a local coin appraiser, I learned it was worth 25 cents. While my millionaire dreams were dashed, it sparked a passion for coin collecting and the stories each coin holds. While the 1992 D Washington quarter might not make you a millionaire overnight, the world of coin collecting is filled with treasures waiting to be discovered. Always approach such claims with a healthy dose of skepticism and do thorough research. If you're eager to learn more about coins that could be worth more than their face value, hit that subscribe button. Join our community for more tips, stories, and insights into the exciting world of numismatics. Today we're talking about a quarter worth $4 million. Yeah, you heard me right. Not $100, not $1,004 million. And no, you don't need a metal detector or a time machine to find one. We're diving into the 1994 P. Ellis Island Washington quarter dollar, a coin that looks just like any other quarter but could be your golden ticket. If you've ever accidentally tossed a valuable coin into a vending machine, you might want to sit down for this one. Stick around because I'll tell you what makes this coin special, how to spot it, and what you can do if you actually find one. Plus, I'll share a little personal coin hunting mishap that'll make you feel a whole lot better about those pennies in your couch cushions. Let's go treasure hunting. So, what's the deal with the 1994 P. Ellis Island quarter? First, let's talk about the basics. This quarter was minted in Philadelphia, hence the little P mint mark. It was part of a special set celebrating Ellis Island, one of America's most famous immigration landmarks. Sounds cool, right? But here's where it gets crazy. Most 1994 P quarters are worth exactly 25 cents. Big surprise. But a few of them were accidentally struck on an experimental planchet, meaning the US Mint goofed up and used the wrong metal composition. These errors are ridiculously rare, and collectors will drop big money to get their hands on one. And when I say big money, I mean $4 million big. Imagine paying for a house, a car, and maybe a lifetime supply of tacos, all with a single quarter. Now, before you start flipping over every 1994 P quarter you see, here's what you need to look for. The weight test: a normal quarter weighs 5.67 grams, but an experimental planchet version might be a little off. If you've got a precision scale, check it. The sound test: tap it against another quarter. If it sounds slightly different, you might have something special. The color and texture: some rare versions have a weird finish, almost like they were struck on a foreign metal. If your quarter looks off, don't spend it. Get it checked out. Now, here's where I messed up. A while back, I found an old quarter in my change that looked kinda weird. I thought, probably nothing, and used it for a parking meter. Big mistake. A week later, I saw an auction for a similar coin selling for thousands. I have never regretted a 25-cent decision more in my life. Moral of the story? Check your change. So next time you get a quarter in your hand, don't just shove it in your pocket or, heaven forbid, toss it into a Coinstar. Take a good look, because one of these rare 1994 P. Ellis Island quarters could turn you into an instant millionaire. And hey, if you found this video helpful, or at least entertaining, hit that subscribe button for more coin hunting tips. We're all about finding treasure in unexpected places, and trust me, there are plenty of other valuable coins floating around out there. Now go check your quarters, and if you find one, don't spend it on snacks. You're welcome. Would you like any adjustments or a different angle? Today we're diving into the fascinating tale of the 1995 Washington quarter and its rumored sky-high value. So, grab your coin collections and let's explore this intriguing story together. Welcome back to Coin Chronicles, where we uncover the hidden gems in your pocket change. I'm your host, Alex, and today we're tackling a coin that's been making waves in the numismatic community, the 1995 Washington quarter. Is it really worth $5 million? Or is there more to the story? Let's find out. A quick overview: minted in Denver, hence the D mint mark. The 1995 Washington quarter is part of the long-standing series featuring George Washington's profile. In terms of design and production, it's a standard quarter with no special variations or errors reported during that year. So, where did this $5 million valuation come from? As much as we'd love to tell you that your spare change could make you a millionaire, the reality is a bit different. The 1995 quarter is generally worth its face value, 25 cents, unless it's in pristine, uncirculated condition. Even then, it might fetch a few dollars from collectors, but certainly not millions. The internet is a treasure trove of information, but not all of it is accurate. Some online sources have exaggerated the value of certain coins, leading to widespread misconceptions. It's essential to cross-reference information and consult reputable sources before getting too excited about that coin in your pocket. Let me share a little story. A few years ago, I stumbled upon an old coin while cleaning out my attic. My heart raced as I imagined it being a rare, valuable piece. After some research, I discovered it was worth, drumroll please, a grand total of $1. While it wasn't a fortune, the thrill of the hunt and the knowledge I gained were priceless. It just goes to show that while not every coin will make you rich, the journey of discovery is worth every cent. While the 1995 Washington quarter isn't your ticket to a $5 million payday, the world of coin collecting is full of surprises and valuable lessons. Always do your research, consult trusted sources, and, most importantly, enjoy the adventure. If you enjoyed this deep dive and want to uncover more coin mysteries, hit that subscribe button and join our community of coin enthusiasts. Share your own coin stories in the comments below. We'd love to hear them. Today, we're diving into what makes this coin so insanely valuable, how you can spot one, and why you should start checking your change immediately. Stick around, because if you find this coin, you'll never have to dig for gas money in your car seats again. Alright, first things first, what even is the 1996 Ellis Island Washington quarter? Well, back in '96, the US Mint released a quarter to commemorate Ellis Island. Now, most of these quarters are only worth face value, but there's one special one out there, and it's worth millions. So what makes this thing so rare? Well, this particular quarter has a one-of-a-kind minting error that was discovered years later. It was struck on a gold planchet, which means instead of the usual nickel-clad copper, it has actual gold content. How did this happen? Nobody knows for sure, but let's just say somebody at the mint probably had a really bad day when they realized what they'd done. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A guy, I kid you not, found one of these bad boys in a Coinstar machine. Imagine that. He was just dumping in some pocket change, and boom! He pulls out what looked like an ordinary quarter, but something seemed off. The color was slightly different, the weight felt a bit heavier. Turns out, it was the legendary 1996 Ellis Island quarter worth $6 million. That's the kind of luck I need when I buy scratch-offs. First, check the date, 1996 The P means it was minted in Philadelphia. Next, examine the surface. A real one will have a slightly golden tint, not shiny like a gold coin, but just enough to look different from regular quarters. Finally, the weight. A standard quarter weighs 5.67 grams, but this one is slightly heavier due to the gold content. If you've got a small scale, weigh it. Now, before you go spending hours checking every quarter in your couch cushions, let's talk about current market value. At last auction, this coin sold for $6 million. That's officially more than what I've spent on Amazon impulse buys this year. So what did we learn today? Always check your change, because you never know when a random quarter could be worth more than your car, or your house, or your entire life savings. And if you love learning about valuable coins like this, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I drop new videos all the time, showing you how to find hidden treasures in your pocket change. Hit that like button. Leave a comment if you've ever found a rare coin. Today we're diving into the 1998 P. Ellis Island, Washington $2. This little gem is causing quite the buzz in the coin collecting world because it's been valued at an insane $8 million. Yeah, you heard that right, $8 million. For a quarter, can you imagine dropping this into a vending machine by accident? I'd cry for a week. Alright, let's get into why this coin is worth so much and how you can tell if you have one hiding in your collection. First things first, the 1998 P. Ellis Island, Washington $2 was minted in Philadelphia and was part of the U.S. Mint's commemorative program honoring Ellis Island, which was the gateway for millions of immigrants coming to America. This $2 was supposed to be just another nice collectible, but due to a crazy minting error, a few of these bad boys turned into pure gold. Well, not literally gold, but you get the point. The reason this coin is so valuable comes down to a rare die misalignment and a double strike error. Basically, the mint goofed up and created something collectors go nuts for. The combination of these mistakes makes this coin a unicorn in the world of numismatics. Only a handful of these ultra-rare error coins have been discovered, and that's why the price tag is through the roof. Now let me tell you a quick personal story. I was at a garage sale last summer digging through a box of random old coins when I found a 1998 $2. My heart nearly jumped out of my chest. I thought I had struck it rich until I got home and checked it under a magnifying glass. Turns out it was just a regular $2 worth. Well, a $2. Moral of the story, always double check before planning your retirement. So how can you spot the real deal if you think you have a 1998 P. Ellis Island $2? Look for clear double striking and signs of a misaligned die. These details are what separate an $8 million jackpot from just another coin in your change jar. Now, if you find one, don't just run to your local bank screaming about your millions. Take it to a professional coin grader to get it authenticated and properly valued. This step is crucial because, trust me, coin dealers have seen it all and they won't take your word for it. Alright folks, that wraps it up for today's episode. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips on coins that could be worth life-changing money, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss out. And hey, drop a comment below. Have you ever found a rare coin in your change? Let's talk about it.